Good morning, good morning. It's Monday. It's only just Monday morning though. I've only just got it under the gate. This podcast is very late and I'm not sorry. There you go. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry, not even sorry. Just not sorry. My podcast is late because I gave myself permission to sleep on. Because last night I had disrupted flights and all sorts of Air New Zealand bullshit, by the way. Air New Zealand, you've got a complaint in your inbox. Terrible service, can I just say, but that's another story. And so I got home very, very late. In fact, I almost got home today. It was today. By the time I got home, it was today. And I thought, well, you know what? The whole, up and out and get to work. And then I thought, you know what? No, because guess what? I'm the boss and no one's going to tell me off if I'm late. And I wouldn't actually care if they did. But I'm like, right, I'm going to just do whatever the fuck I want this morning and have a very slow start. So my Monday morning meeting has happened much later than it normally does because I'm like, I'm just going to have some space. So space, interestingly, is a theme for this week. I've been running very hard from sort of about, actually all year, but mostly since, getting the book finished in when did I finish that? February, March, and then we went to print in May, and I've been doing all these tours, which I've just had the best time doing, but I've been going so hard, like every single day, like nearly 7 days a week has been, right, let's go, up, pants on, out the door, boom, 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 and not really, do I want to be there? No, just have to be, like just booking appointments, meetings, boom, 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 all the time, right? And life sometimes gets like that. And I like life like that. Like I created that. I made my life like that. And I like it. And I knew that this book tour was going to be enormous. And it's been fucking fantastic. And I'm so happy. But I've just gone, right, I need some space because it's been a bit mental. And last week, Michaela and I were in the office and we were both commenting on how nice it was that we had space. Often we go, right, we've got this on at 9 and this at 10 and this at 11 and then we've got a meeting at 12 and then we've got to have this sent by 1 and, it's just this, life can just be a series of fucking deadlines and a lot of them are self-imposed deadlines. But I thought I said to Michaela last week, God, it's lovely that we start talking about, maybe we should do this and then we go off and do it and we've got like space to go, let's do that now. Let's spend 2 hours on that instead of when can we schedule it in? And, this over-scheduledness, it's crazy. It's crazy to me how many self-employed people aren't in charge of their lives. So they're self-employed. So they think that means, but really they just bought themselves a job. So they're still running around going, I've got to be at my desk from 9 till 5 and all this shit. And it's like, do you though? So anyway, that's been me. So this week's all about space. I'm giving myself loads of space. Space before things, space after things. Space to wander and ponder. I like to give my head some free range time. So my head is a crazy beast and it's often doing work, my head. It's often thinking and planning and creating and writing. And I'm like, I like to give it some free range time where it does nothing and it has nothing to do. One of the greatest things about the travel that I do is that I have this space where I wake up in the morning and I'm alone and no one talks to me because I'm alone. And I, imagine getting up, showering and dressing and no one talking to you about anything. And not that people talking to you is a bad thing, but it means I've got space for my thoughts to wander. So my thoughts can wander off down a road and then I've got time to follow that road all the way it goes instead of someone jumping in going, can I have the car or do you want a coffee or how's this or what's happening or where's this and are you picking them up and can you give me $10 and all the stuff that happens when you're in a family. And it's really lovely to have a break from that, I have to admit. To just having done that for many years, I really appreciate my slow mornings where my head can be free range wandering. And it's like, when do you get space when no one's in your head? No one. Like where you go, I'm you're driving, and I love listening to podcasts, but often I go, no, I'm just going to not listen to anything because I don't need another voice in my head right now. I need space. I need my head to go, oh, well, that's a bit shit. I'm not very happy about that. Oh, what aren't you happy about, head? And then to kind of explore things, because if you don't allow space for stuff to bubble up, you often don't know how you feel about anything. You don't know how you feel. And then you go, oh, I actually feel bored. And you go, oh, okay. Why are you bored, Lisa? Is that a theme? Is that, are you just bored right now? Or have you been bored for a long time? Or, or you go, oh, I'm actually angry. I'm like, right, what are you angry at? Letting shit bubble up is a good idea, isn't it? But I think you've got to have space. And I think one of the reasons that people are so fucked up, if I can be so bold, these days, is they don't give themselves space. They just go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And we live in such a hectic world, and you never have space to ponder, to wonder, to think, to just go, I don't know how I feel about that. I'll give myself some space. And where do you get space when you're running families and companies and jobs and, when you're doing all this stuff? So I think having space just to wander in your mind. So I've got a whole week of space. I've got stuff on. But for example, when I look in my planner this morning, I've literally got like maximum 2 things a day. That never happens. I normally have 5 things a day. I'm on a 2 thing per day this week. Isn't that fucking fantastic? And I did do it deliberately because I thought, I'm going to need some headspace. So give yourself some headspace. Give yourself some space when no one's going to come in contact with you. And whether that, I find driving really good because, you're alone and no one can kind of, other than a mugger, no one would jump in your car. So when can you drive somewhere and just have space with your head? Get comfortable with having space in your head. Some of you, I've got a couple of friends who don't like space with their head. They say, fuck no. All the mad voices come out when I get space. So they constantly listen to music, listen to podcasts, and never alone because they're scared what will happen if they're alone. What will their head do? So getting used to being alone is a really good idea. And making friends with your mind. That's what I'm doing. I'm just being gentle. Gentle's not my natural state, believe it or not. I'm a little bit, excuse me, coffee slurp there. I'm a little bit random, and I'm a little bit of a Rambo. So gentle is not really my state. Normally, I'm kind of a push it, shove it, give it a fucking crack kind of human. And so I've had to learn to be gentle. And I think being gentle is really something I'm really enjoying. And space is something new for me because I do like the idea of an action-packed, dopamine full life. And then every now and then I go, no, fuck it. And there's there's gold in the spaces. So I wish you a spacious week. Find some space. If you have a planner sitting in front of you, cross out some shit. Upset some people. Disappoint someone. Say, no, I'm not coming. Sorry. And just see if you can build in some space. See if you can change something so you've got 3 things in the morning and nothing in the afternoon. That's what I do. Just get out your felt pen and go, no, fuck, I'm not doing that. And just give yourself the space you deserve because you deserve space to wander and ponder. Wandering and pondering. Wondering, not wandering. Oh, you could wander. I'm going to wonder and ponder. That's my week. Have a lovely week.